Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that will be linked with a January transfer move to Arsenal. Oh boy, I'll tell you, I'm still upset about yesterday's game. The 1-0 well, it felt like a defeat. I was about to say 1-0 defeat. 1-1 draw at Brighton felt like a defeat because of another horrendous refereeing decision. Another refereeing decision that's just been made up by the great Anthony Taylor, costing Arsenal points again. And yeah, it was really, really disappointing. And on top of that, the news that Ethan Nwaneri injured in the game, muscular injury, so, you know, it could be a hamstring, something like that. Anytime you hear anything about a muscular injury, you know that the player's going to be out for a few weeks. Again, a massive blow. And if you actually look at that game yesterday, let's take the refereeing out of it for 1 minute. We were just very impotent in attack. You know what I mean? Trossard was awful in the game. You know, Nwaneri scored, give that to him. Jesus was very ineffective. Of course, we were missing Havertz through illness. But yet again, the highlight is there that attack that we have at the moment for Arsenal, whilst it's good, is not good enough to win the transfer league, to win the Premier League. We've got to go into the transfer window this January and strengthen that front line. It is not good enough to win the league. If you actually look at it, I think Arsenal have drawn 7 games this season. Drawn 5 of those from winning positions. It shows you that there's a deficiency up front. Arsenal, very difficult team to beat. We've only lost 2 games in the Premier League this season, 3 games all season. That shows you that defensively, solid. In midfield, good. But up front, we do not score enough goals from the front players. I know overall we score a lot of goals, but where's the killer? Where's the player in a game like yesterday that can be that difference maker? Normally, that's Saka, but now without Saka, now no Nwaneri as well, it's a crisis up front. And I feel that Mikel Arteta has to address this. There's a lot of people out there getting really upset about the situation at the moment. Now, will he bring in somebody in January? I don't think it's good enough to keep saying it's difficult to do in January. We know that's true. He's not lying when he says that. That's true. We know Arsenal were very interested in signing Matheus Cunha from Wolves, but it looks like that's not going to happen now. He's on the verge of signing a contract extension with Wolverhampton Wanderers, which will keep him there till at least the summer. There's a lot of rumours that there's a release clause being written into that contract. It's a very low release clause if Wolves get relegated. Obviously, they'll bump up his wages and protect the value of the player. But it doesn't look like Matheus Cunha is going anywhere and he's going to sign a brand new deal. So that one is going to be off limits for Arsenal. Evan Ferguson, which was another player that we have been told that Arsenal may sign this January. That one is looking like a no-go as well. I was speaking yesterday, can't say my source, but a very, very good source at Brighton. Asked him about the Evan Ferguson possible deal. Asked him about if Evan Ferguson may leave in the January transfer window. He said that's a possibility. He said that he needs game time. He needs to be playing. You know, however, very unlikely they'd send him to Arsenal because he wants to, they want him to play. I sort of said this on my show the other day. He needs game time. That will up his value. They're not looking to sell him long term. They want to keep him, but he's just not playing enough games. So the likelihood of him going to Arsenal, tiny, because if he comes to Arsenal, he's still going to hardly play. So if he does go out on loan, probably somewhere like a West Ham or somewhere team like that, a team that needs a striker where he's going to play on a regular basis. So Evan Ferguson to Arsenal looking highly, highly unlikely. So who else is out there that Arsenal can get done? What about Omar Marmoush of Eintracht Frankfurt? Valued at around about £60 million, will be expensive. He's had a great season, 13 goals in 15 appearances, 8 assists. We know he can play as a centre forward, which he's doing at Eintracht Frankfurt. He can play on the right wing, the left wing. He's versatile enough to do all that. Free kick specialist as well. Should Arsenal make a move for him? Now, we've been hearing rumours over the past couple of days that Manchester City have readied a bid to go in to try and sign Marmoush. Eintracht Frankfurt don't want to sell him, but if the price is right, they are a selling club. They will sell him. It will have to be a big price. No bids have come in yet, despite all the rumours. Should Arsenal go in and get an offer on the table for Omar Marmoush? We need a striker. We need a goal scorer. We need options. There was no options yesterday on the bench. If there was, Trossard would have come off. Need options. Or should they move for Randal, Kolo and Muani, another player who is available? He's desperate to leave PSG. PSG desperate to move him on. Could be a loan, could be a permanent deal. PSG paid £76 million for him. It hasn't worked out. Again, versatile enough to play anywhere across the front three. Should Arsenal make a move for him? Could buy him outright for around 40 million, still only 26, or a loan until the end of the season. That would make sense. Arsenal need reinforcements. If Nwaneri's out, what is the front line? Havertz comes back in after his illness. Trossard, Martinelli. That's it at the moment. No Sterling, still injured. Can we rely on him? So I think this makes perfect sense. Maybe not long term, but as a loan, why not? And if we're going to get it done as a loan, do it early. Look how many games we've got in January. Arsenal also being linked today with Marcus Asensio. Again, we've been linked with this guy now. This is a guy that we've been linked with over the years. He's now 28. I'm sure when we first started getting linked with him, he was around about 22. 1 year left on his current contract with PSG. He struggled for game time this season. I mean, he's a player that's flattered to deceive over the years. He's had big moves. Real Madrid didn't really work out. PSG hasn't worked out. There is a player in there. He used to be a top player, but again, it's always bubbling up. Never really hit the heights. PSG willing to accept offers of around about 20 to 25 million pounds for him. He's been linked with Arsenal. He's been linked with Aston Villa, Newcastle. Should Arsenal make a move? Would this be a desperation move? Are we desperate that we need to go and get somebody like this? Again, available, but will Arsenal make a move for him? This January transfer window going to be one we're going to have to wait and see and take a look at. Another player who's been linked with Arsenal today is Martín Zubimendi. Again, this is another guy linked all the time. We were sort of the first team that was really, really interested in signing him. During the summer, Liverpool emerged as the favourites for a long time. Everybody thought he was going to Liverpool. He decided to stay at Real Sociedad. He's got this release clause of around about £51 million. Arsenal willing to activate it. He stayed. Liverpool willing to activate it. He stayed. Now, according to Figueres over there in Spain, whole host of clubs looking at him. Manchester City was said to be interested in him in this January transfer window as a replacement for Rodri, but they haven't put a bid in yet. They haven't activated the release clause. Real Madrid are showing a big interest in him right now. Could Liverpool return? And Arsenal are interested. Obviously, Thomas Partey hasn't been offered a new contract, despite he's been having a really good season. Again, I thought he was good at right back yesterday, but hasn't been offered a new contract yet. So we'll leave at the end of the season. Zubimendi seen as the perfect replacement. Don't see this as a January signing, more as a summer signing. And anyway, I don't think Arsenal fans are interested in another defensive midfielder right now. We want to see attackers, right? So I'm telling you, for me, I'm looking at it and I'm saying we're moving into a critical stage already in this January transfer market with Arsenal. I feel if we don't make these moves and bring in some attacking players, or at least one attacking player this January transfer window, chances of winning the league, which are already very slim after that draw yesterday, just disappear. And you can't give up on it yet. You can't give up on it yet, but we've got to bring in attack. I don't know what Mikel Arteta has against strikers. He doesn't seem to want to buy any. So let's see what happens. We're going to be here every single day of the January transfer window. I'm hoping that it's not going to be frustrated at the end of it and that we do bring in that player, but we need to bring him in early. You know, we need a striker. We need an attacking player. Thanks for watching the show today. Don't forget to subscribe here to AFTV. Don't forget any breaking news around any players being linked with Arsenal. We will bring it to you first right here on AFTV. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.